Today's stories all begin in ordinary places. A bus ride home from university, a crowded bar in Sao Paulo, quiet furniture mall, a child's bedroom, and a hospital window in Spain. Nothing about these places should feel impossible. And yet, in each story, reality seems to slip just slightly out of place. Maybe these are glitches. Maybe they are warnings. Maybe they are moments when the world briefly forgets how it's supposed to work. Whatever they are, they leave behind the same feeling. That something ordinary opened for a moment, and something else looked through.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Summer's a gift. The gift of days that last a little longer. A brighter state of mind. So gift yourself a new Kia at the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. With specially tagged vehicles including the Sorrento, Sportage, Carnival, as well as the Niro Hybrid. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So the gift of summer can keep on giving for summers to come. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Event ends 7/6/26. See dealer for warranty details.
There's never been a better time to get outside and experience the benefits of nature. Discover nearby trails and explore the outdoors with All Trails. Download the free app today and find your outside.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Hello, I'm Sarah, and welcome to the Whispering Woods Reddit and Listener Story episode. I've got 5 spooky Reddit stories to share today. I'll get straight into them. Are you ready for the first story? A glitch in the Matrix with 2 witnesses. Or maybe parallel reality or collective hysteria. I don't know. And this story is from Elio Abel. Thanks so much for letting us share it. This event happened a few months ago, and I'll try to describe it in great detail because, after retelling this story many times, absolutely no natural explanation fits, and everything was witnessed by 2 people at the same time. I met up with a cousin to have a beer at the Friday Samba gathering in Lago di Santa Cecilia, Sao Paulo. A weekly event that always gets very crowded, where people sit at tables and chairs spread across the square and freely go into the surrounding bars to buy drinks or use the bathrooms. We stayed talking from around 8:30 p.m. until 11:30 p.m. We literally drank 2 beers each, shared a plate of chicken bites, and nothing else before deciding to leave. I want to emphasise what we consumed to make it clear that we were not drunk or under the influence of any hallucinogenics. Before walking back, we decided to use the restroom, but the bar we were standing in front of was too crowded. So we decided to go into the bar next door. That's when the whole anomaly began. We entered the bar, and it was completely empty. I don't mean not many people. I mean there wasn't even a bartender, no customers, no human being at all. The bar was open and fully lit as normal. There was simply nobody there. We went to the restroom in the back, which only had stalls and sinks. My cousin entered the first stall and I entered the second. During the few minutes we were there, I found it strange that my cousin kept knocking against the divider between the stalls, almost as if he were leaning on it, but nothing beyond that. When I came out to wash my hands, there was also a man washing his hands at the sink in front of the first stall. I stood next to him, looked him in the eyes, and he looked me directly in the eyes as well. I'd never seen that person in my life. He was an older man, probably around 50 or 60 years old, with a very serious expression. Otherwise, just an ordinary person in a public restroom. I looked toward the first stall, where I'd just seen my cousin enter, and it was empty. I found it strange that he had already left, but again, nothing impossible. I just assumed he was waiting for me outside the bar. I saw the strange man finish washing his hands and walk out. I'd finished too and left in the same direction. That's when I noticed he was wearing a green waist bag on his back, identical to my cousin's. The bar was still completely empty. I watched the man walk to the sidewalk and stop, as though he were waiting for someone. I also walked out to the sidewalk and once again stopped beside this person. I had no idea who he was. Again, we looked directly into each other's eyes, with absolutely no sign of recognition from either side. I looked around for my cousin. Since I had left the bar, there were now lots of people on the sidewalk. I walked around a bit looking for him, but nothing. I thought, that's impossible, he must still be in the restroom. So I went back into the bar to look for him. As I walked toward the restroom, while the bar still remained completely empty, I felt my phone vibrate and saw it was my cousin calling. Obviously, I answered immediately and asked him where he was. Literally while he was responding, I turned around to look once again toward the sidewalk. And exactly where the strange man had been standing 1 second earlier, there was my cousin, standing in the same position, wearing the same green waist bag. We looked at each other and instantly recognised one another, so I walked back outside the bar. The moment we met, we almost simultaneously asked, "What the hell just happened?" That's when he told me his version of the events we had just experienced. His version was very similar to mine, but with some extremely important differences. He said he had not been banging on the stall divider at all. Quite the opposite. He'd gone into the restroom, finished quickly, and had been waiting outside the bathroom, but still inside the empty bar, for more than 10 minutes. He also saw a strange man washing his hands next to him. However, according to him, the man wasn't just older, his face was deformed, and in his words, he had an incredibly heavy energy as though he wanted to hurt someone. He saw this strange man follow him out of the restroom and recognised parts of the clothing as being what I was wearing. Just like I had only recognised the green waist bag, he recognised my black t-shirt. When he saw the deformed man walk back into the bar, he decided to call me. According to him, he then witnessed almost a metamorphosis as the man turned around. He saw changes in posture, shape and face. And by the time the figure fully turned around, it was me standing there. After that, we simply met up and walked toward his house, where I could call an Uber. Everything was completely normal, as if nothing had happened. My cousin and I are both very sceptical people. He told me he spent days afterward feeling genuinely terrified, and I still have no reasonable explanation for what happened. What do you think? Do you believe in the paranormal? If there's a better subreddit to post this in, I'd appreciate the recommendation. I'm looking for any kind of opinion or explanation. Very, very spooky. I can understand that they're seeing each other or what they may turn out like in the future, the cousins. But the energy off of the other guy, you know, the storyteller, and when his cousin said he was giving off a bad vibe, that really freaked me out. I can't bear these kind of stories because they really chill me to the core. And I mean that because if I ever get stuck in a time warp, I don't know what I'd do. Somebody come and look for me, please. Thank you. Sincerely. Are you ready for the second story? When I was a little boy, there was a monster under my bed. And this story is from Federal Chemical 7736. Thank you so much for letting us share it. When I was a little kid, I don't know how old, 7 or 8 at the oldest, me and my twin sister shared a bedroom. Our beds were directly across the room from each other, and we'd frequently chat all night. We'd gone out with our mum and older siblings and came home very late at night. For a 7-year-old, maybe it was 10 p.m. Lol. When we got home, it was off to bed with us, and we laid in the dark and talked for a while. My sister seemed really strange, like frozen, and moving and not talking. I went and got in bed with her and asked her what was wrong. She said that we have to be brave and run to Mum's room, because there was a monster looking at her from beneath my bed that I was just previously laying in. I turned away from her and looked into the dark void that was beneath my bed. And I don't know, I felt it too. There was a monster under the bed. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it watching us. I think we counted to 10 quietly and ran to my mum's room to tell her about the monster. As we stood in the mouth of our mother's doorway, crying and hyperventilating, a man ran by our mother's room, slammed the door and escaped out the back door of the kitchen. The man had broken in while we were away and hidden under the bed. I don't think about this often, but sometimes I wonder what would have happened if my sister had never sensed him. Spooky stuff. People are terrifying. So sorry this is written out poorly. I'm on a 15-minute break from work with not much time left on it. That one got you, didn't it? It was creepy, so I had to add it. Now we'll all be looking under our beds before we go to sleep tonight. Are you ready for the third story? Real life NPCs? And this is from It's Hoo Hoo. Thank you so much for letting us share your story. I wouldn't believe this story if it didn't happen to me, and I probably would question myself if my mother hadn't also been there and seen the same thing as me. My mum and I were shopping in this little mall for furniture. By little mall, I mean it only had maybe 10 to 15 stores that only sold furniture, electronics, homewares, etc. It didn't have the traditional multiple entrances or food courts or anything else normal malls have. It did have one small cafe though. The whole mall was pretty much empty. It was the middle of the day during the work week, so not many people were out and about. My mum and I were looking specifically for mattresses, so kept hopping around the bedding stores. To get to the next store, we had to walk past the cafe. There were tables and chairs inside the cafe that were empty. But outside the cafe, in the walkway of the mall, there was a row of tables for couples set up. Maybe 5 tables with 2 chairs each. All of these were full. Approaching the cafe, my mum made a comment that it was weird all these people were sitting at the cafe when there was no one else around the mall, and I agreed. As we walked past them, it seemed like they were all talking at the same time. All their mouths were moving, as if in deep conversation. As we walked along the line of tables and chairs, we couldn't make out one word. It sounded like general background noise. We were walking close enough to definitely pick up a word or two. Think of the classic, and they were roommates fine, lol. But nothing. Just a bunch of people staring at each other and talking but not saying words. My mum and I were squeezing each other's arms the whole time, and when we finally passed the cafe, we immediately started talking about how weird it felt. It felt like they weren't real people. It didn't feel like we were in the presence of people, if that makes sense. It felt like an empty mall despite the cafe patrons chatting at the tables. By the time we finished at the store and came out again, the cafe was empty. We were in there for maybe 20 minutes. We still talk about it to this day, but no one else really gets how weird it felt. You just have to be there, I guess. Now, NPCs, or weird humanoid creatures, are a recurring theme in my nightmares. Lol. Another one. Now I know exactly what they mean by, it's just that kind of mumbling noise that I imagine outside of the cafe, where you can't distinguish any conversations going on, just the sound of talking. And it was spooky. Are you ready for the 4th story? I saw my mother looking out at me from a window in Spain while she was in the US. Input requested. And this is from Swans and Frogs 88. Thank you so much for letting us share your story. I had a crazy experience today, like nothing I've ever experienced before, and it would be so helpful to get your input. My husband, my father-in-law, and I were returning home from a day trip, and we were planning on visiting my mother-in-law, who is currently in the hospital, on the way back. Since we were returning from our day trip much earlier than expected, we contemplated going home for a little while first, and then going to the hospital. But for some reason, I strongly preferred to go straight to the hospital, so we did. While my husband was parking the car, he looked up towards the hospital and saw a woman looking out of the window of one of the hospital rooms on the 4th floor, looking straight down at him. I was in the back seat and saw that he had an alarmed look on his face. And then he told me, "The woman staring out the window at us looks exactly like your mum." I looked up and was absolutely floored, as it was essentially her. To me, it was how she looked about 10 plus years ago, but to my husband, it was how she looks now. I was so shocked, as I just could not believe how much it looked exactly like her and was essentially her, even though that makes no rational sense. There's no way it actually was her, as I'm in Spain, and she's home in the US and has physical limitations and cannot internationally fly. After getting out of the car, it's about a 3-minute walk to get into the hospital, walking right by the window where my mum, but not my mum, proceeded to stare right at us the entire walk inside. I kept glancing back up at her, and I had full body chills, and kept stating I was extremely creeped out. It was hard to look away, as it was just so jarring and shocking. My husband and I agreed that she had the exact same mannerisms as my mum as well. After we got to my mother-in-law's hospital room, I couldn't stop thinking about what had just happened outside, and I told my husband, I'm going to go to the floor where my faux mum was, and look inside her room as I walk by and see if I can get a closer look at her. He said that he would come with me. When we reached the floor, over the part of the unit where her room was, there was a huge sign hanging from the ceiling that read, Restricted Zone, meaning that unless you're staff, you cannot walk into that part of the unit. So we were essentially blocked from getting a closer up view of her. We happened to be in the midst of a profound spiritual awakening, and am fully on board with the concept that this life we're experiencing is a simulation. I think that my higher self may have created this scenario to confirm for me that all of the spiritual knowledge, understanding and transformation that I'm undergoing is legit, and that yes, this is an Earth School simulation. But I also acknowledge there's a host of other theories to explain what happened that I'm not even aware of. Like perhaps some sort of glitch in the simulation where I encountered another version of my mum living a completely different life, and she recognised my husband and I somehow, which is why she was staring at us so intently and intensely. Now, I really need to look more into Earth School simulations because I've not come across that before. Maybe it's a thing I've missed. It rang bells to me. I was like, yeah, that could make sense. That we're all just in a school learning how to be good humans before we progress to the next stage. Are you ready for the 5th and final story? This happened way back in the 90s, and this story is from Hispania Obscura. Thank you so much for letting us share it. I finally found a place to tell this story. It happened to me some 30 years ago. I took the usual bus from my university to my home. Was experiencing a heavy headache. Back then, the bus tickets were colour-coded by day, and I got my orange ticket and got in the bus together with other people with the same ticket colour. Then I sat down by the middle and closed my eyes. When my stop was near, I opened my eyes and felt off. All the people around me looked different. It's not like I was paying special attention, mind you. Just a general awareness of the people that were close by when the trip started. And I was pretty sure these people were different. I asked to get off at my stop, but the driver told me I had to pay because he hadn't seen me getting on. I showed him the orange ticket. He told me tickets were blue that day. I started to argue, but then noticed everyone else had blue tickets, so I paid again, confused. During my walk to my home, I stopped by a public phone, it was the 90s, to call up a friend. Dialed her home phone number, but a man answered and told me it was the wrong number. Called again, same result. I was even more confused and my head was killing me, so I hurried home. I found it strange that the house was empty, since my parents very rarely went out. I called their names, linked springs, but finally collapsed in my bed and fell asleep. An hour later, I woke up, and when I got out of my room, my parents were there. telling me they had been there all day and confused as how they didn't notice me arrive. I dialed my friend again. She answered, told me no one else had been at her house that day. She didn't know what to make of it. Nothing weird has happened to me ever since.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
We all belong outside. We're drawn to nature, whether it's the recorded sounds of the ocean we doze off to, or the succulents that adorn our homes. Nature makes all of our lives, well, better. Despite all this, we often go about our busy lives removed from it. But the outdoors is closer than we realize. With All Trails, you can discover trails nearby and explore confidently. With offline maps and on-trail navigation, download the free app today and make the most of your summer with All Trails.
Another freaky story. Imagine that, just on the bus, and then, next minute, I thought the wrong colour ticket. That would really do my brain in. I'd just be running off the bus, screaming. Well, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you again on Sunday for the After Dark. Take care, everyone.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
The new Sprite Berry Blast is here with berry flavor and cold foam. Sprite from McDonald's just got bluer. One of many new drinks now at McDonald's.
Copyright 2026, The Coca-Cola Company. Sprite is a registered trademark of The Coca-Cola Company.
Feeling under the weather? You can Teladoc that. Actually, for almost everything health-related, checkups, check-ins, and everything in between, you can Teladoc that. Visit teladochealth.com to get started. TELADOC health.com.
The stories told on the Whispering Woods are inspired by historical records, witness reports, and local folklore. While every effort is made to research and represent events accurately, some details, names, and locations may differ from official accounts or have been changed out of respect for those involved. These episodes are created for storytelling and entertainment purposes and should not be considered definitive fact or investigative journalism.